because I grew up in Iowa. No, I
Is that
did.
where?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I don't know if you want to digress into this or not, but I talk to people, and some of them are actors who grew up in Koreatown area, and they're like, "You're so lucky." And I'm like, well, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Because you don't have that weird cultural thing where you always have to try to appease like the other Koreans in the area or your surroundings, because that's a community they grew up with." And I kind of get her point, because we're allowed to just sort of kind of like be all American.
Right.
And kind of like, sure, we're Asian by skin color and ethnicity, but culturally we're American.
Right, because there is nothing else. It's like Whiteville. So
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
hot dogs and.
So I get exactly what she was saying, because if I grew up in Koreatown, I'd probably be speaking very fluently Korean. Everybody around me would be Korean, and it's almost its own American subculture rather than just being American. If you really want to know the reason why I got into the business, is because when you grow up in Iowa, you've got your dreams ahead of you. You're just looking up at the clouds and the cornfields, literally, going, "What do I want to do with my life?" And you're a dreamer. And as an Asian American kid, and one of the few ones in my school and everything, you can do whatever you want and you can stand out. And so I'm like, I want to be an actor. It's the hardest thing I can ever choose. There's not enough of us represented on. I mean, who did I have growing up? Barely Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, and maybe not even him. And that's it.
And they're not even Americans.
And they're not even Americans,
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, how many times have I been asked, do I know Kung Fu? Do I know karate?
Yeah.
And then how do you answer that? You say no, then you get your ass kicked. You say yes, then they fight you. So, I mean, in that regard, if I grew up in, say, Koreatown or something, then you don't stand out. You don't feel like you're an individual. You don't feel like you're unique, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? But I don't know if I would be an actor. Because maybe there's like 10 other people that lived in LA, Koreatown, who's trying to be an actor too. And I'm like, well, I don't look any different from them. So in that way, it kind of led me to this way, whether we'll see if it was a good choice or not later on. But right now it seems like it is. But the interesting thing is that because you're different, it's almost the quest to not be different, to figure out why you're different or why you're not different, that makes you want to do that. See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's a very existential thing. But I mean, that's why a lot of people want to be in this business.
I wanted to ask you about TV shows in particular. If there was an episode of some series that you've done, not Teen Wolf, because we'll get there, that was particularly memorable for you for some reason or another.
Let's see. Well, obviously The Shield, and actually Pacific Blue, was my first ever TV show. I don't know if you even remember what that is. The bicycle cop show on USA Channel. And that's how I got my SAG card. And Mario Lopez jumps over my dead body. So, and that was a week-long shoot, and we shot in Venice. We had crowds on the,
Right.
Venice boardwalk, and I had a gun in my hand, and I'm yelling at this girl who's running away. I mean, it was great. I thought I was gonna be a movie star after that. And then nothing.
Yeah.
No work.
So that was very memorable for you because it was the first.
Yeah, absolutely.
So were there any others that came along after that were memorable for you?
There were like milestone TV shows for me where I felt like I kind of went to the next level, kind of a thing. Like I think Criminal Minds was a big one because it was a nice big chunk. Where again it was like a week-long role, and it was a very nice character that had its own little ups and downs. And then after that, 24, which was a great role.
Yeah.
Getting to work with Kiefer and explosions and I come out of this burning building, with my one of my partners, saving his life, and it's pretty cool.
But there was another show I think you had where you had some reoccurring. Was there?
Yeah, it was a Disney show called Ant Farm.
Oh, that's what it
Yeah,
was.
and that was a lot of fun. I mean, just go big, over the top. It's live audience. It was a lot of fun. I love doing comedy. I need to go back to it. Let's see. I do a little bit on Teen Wolf. I'm always like, especially now that one of the characters is gone, the coach is gone, so it's like they make me the comic relief a little bit, So, and I like those scenes. Yeah, but I'd love to go do that again. I can't be serious. I mean, I would love to be like, that action star and stuff like that. But at the same time, I think he would have to have like some sort of comic edge to him.